Hello, and welcome to my channel. Relax, and get ready to listen to today's story. Now I'm going to tell you a story about a mystical mansion that keeps a big secret behind its walls. It was a cold winter's night in the small town of Willowbrook. The streets were deserted, and an eerie silence hung in the air. The townspeople were tucked away in their cozy homes, unaware of the events that were about to unfold. On the outskirts of Willowbrook stood an old Victorian mansion, known as Ravenwood Manor. The mansion had a long-standing history of mystery and intrigue, with rumors of secret passages and hidden treasures. It was said that the mansion was haunted by the ghost of its former owner, the eccentric millionaire, Mr. Edgar Ravenwood. On this particular night, a group of friends decided to explore the mysteries of Ravenwood Manor. They were a curious bunch, always seeking adventure and thrill. Among them were Emma, a brave and adventurous young woman, and her best friend, Jack, a skeptical yet curious individual. As they approached the imposing gates of Ravenwood Manor, a shiver ran down Emma's spine. "Are you sure about this, Jack? It feels like we're walking into a horror movie," she whispered. Jack chuckled nervously. "Come on, Em. It's just an old house. What could possibly go wrong?" They made their way up the winding path leading to the front door. The moonlight cast eerie shadows on the overgrown hedges that lined the path. As they reached the entrance, Emma hesitated for a moment before pushing open the heavy wooden door. The foyer was dimly lit, with cobwebs clinging to the chandeliers and dust covering every surface. The air smelled musty and stale. Emma couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding as they stepped further into the mansion. "Let's split up and search for any clues or hidden passages," suggested Jack. "We'll meet back here in an hour." Emma nodded reluctantly, her heart pounding in her chest. She headed towards the grand staircase, while Jack disappeared into one of the many hallways. As Emma ascended the staircase, she noticed a faint sound coming from one of the rooms. Curiosity got the better of her, and she followed the sound to a door slightly ajar. Pushing it open, she found herself in a small study, filled with dusty books and old artifacts. Suddenly, Emma heard a noise behind her. She turned around to find a portrait on the wall had swung open, revealing a hidden passage. Her heart raced with excitement as she stepped through the secret door. The passage was narrow and dimly lit, with cobwebs brushing against her face. She cautiously made her way through the winding corridors, not knowing what she would find at the end. After what felt like an eternity, Emma emerged into a small chamber. The room was filled with ancient artifacts and peculiar contraptions. But what caught her attention was a worn leather journal lying on a pedestal. She picked up the journal and began flipping through its pages. The journal belonged to Mr. Edgar Ravenwood himself, chronicling his adventures and discoveries. Emma was captivated by the tales of hidden treasures and lost civilizations. Just as she was about to delve deeper into the journal, she heard footsteps approaching the chamber. Panic surged through her veins as she realized she was not alone. Emma hurriedly hid behind a stack of crates, clutching Mr. Ravenwood's journal tightly in her hands. The footsteps grew louder, echoing through the chamber. She strained to see who was approaching, but the dim lighting made it difficult to make out any details. As the figure drew closer, Emma's heart skipped a beat. It was a tall man dressed in a long black coat, his face hidden beneath the brim of his hat. He seemed to exude an air of mystery and danger. The stranger paused in the center of the chamber, scanning the room with an intensity that sent shivers down Emma's spine. She held her breath, praying that he wouldn't discover her hiding place. After what felt like an eternity, the stranger seemed satisfied that he was alone. He approached a large table covered in maps and ancient artifacts. Emma watched in awe as he carefully examined each item, occasionally muttering to himself. Curiosity got the better of Emma, and she couldn't resist trying to overhear the stranger's muttered words. She strained her ears, catching snippets of phrases like "lost city" and "untold riches." Suddenly, the stranger's head snapped up, as if sensing he was being watched. Emma's heart raced as their eyes met for a brief moment. She quickly ducked behind the crates, hoping that he hadn't seen her. The stranger cautiously made his way towards Emma's hiding spot, his footsteps growing louder with each passing second. She held her breath, praying that he would walk past without noticing her. Just as the stranger was about to reach her hiding spot, a loud crash echoed through the chamber. Startled, he turned his attention towards the noise, giving Emma the opportunity to slip away unnoticed. Emma tiptoed towards the entrance of the chamber, her heart pounding in her chest. She couldn't shake off the feeling that she had stumbled upon something far bigger than she had anticipated. Determined to uncover the truth, she made her way back through the secret passage and into Ravenwood Manor. As Emma emerged from the secret passage, she found herself back in the study where she had first discovered Mr. Ravenwood's journal. She glanced around, ensuring that she was alone before making her way towards the grand staircase. She descended the stairs, her mind racing with thoughts of what she had just witnessed. The stranger's presence in Ravenwood Manor and his interest in the hidden chamber only added to the mystery surrounding the mansion. Emma's thoughts were interrupted as she heard footsteps approaching from the hallway. Panicked, she quickly hid behind a suit of armor, hoping to remain unnoticed. The footsteps grew louder, and Emma's heart pounded in her chest. She peered through the gaps in the armor, her eyes widening in surprise as she recognized the figure approaching. It was Jack, her best friend and partner in their exploration of Ravenwood Manor. Relief washed over her as she stepped out from behind the suit of armor. "Emma! Thank goodness I found you," exclaimed Jack, his voice filled with worry. "I've been searching everywhere. We need to get out of here." Emma nodded, her mind still racing with thoughts of the enigmatic stranger. "Jack, I saw someone in the hidden chamber," she whispered urgently. "He seemed to be searching for something, talking about lost cities and riches." Jack's eyes widened with intrigue. "Are you serious? This just keeps getting more interesting. We need to find out who he is and what he's after." Emma nodded in agreement. "But we have to be careful, Jack. He's dangerous, and I don't think he wants anyone else interfering with his plans." The two friends made their way through the dimly lit hallways of Ravenwood Manor, their footsteps echoing through the empty mansion. They knew they had to tread carefully, not only to avoid the stranger but also to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within its walls. As they explored further, they stumbled upon a locked door at the end of a long corridor. Intrigued, they searched for a key that would grant them access to whatever lay beyond. After what seemed like an eternity, Emma discovered a rusty key hidden beneath a dusty rug. She held it up triumphantly, a smile spreading across her face. With trembling hands, Emma inserted the key into the lock and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a hidden room filled with ancient artifacts and maps. It was clear that this room held the answers they were seeking. Emma and Jack stepped into the hidden room, their eyes wide with anticipation. The room was bathed in a soft glow from the moonlight streaming in through a small window. Dust particles danced in the air, adding an ethereal touch to the atmosphere. The walls were adorned with maps and charts, detailing unexplored territories and mysterious landmarks. Shelves lined with dusty books and artifacts filled every corner of the room. It was a treasure trove of knowledge waiting to be unraveled. As Emma and Jack scanned the room, their attention was drawn to a large wooden desk in the center. On it lay a weathered journal, similar to the one Emma had discovered earlier. It was Mr. Edgar Ravenwood's personal journal, filled with his thoughts and discoveries. Eagerly, Emma picked up the journal and began flipping through its pages. The entries chronicled Mr. Ravenwood's quest for a lost city rumored to hold unimaginable riches. He wrote of ancient civilizations, hidden passages, and cryptic clues that would lead to the city's whereabouts. Jack leaned over Emma's shoulder, his eyes scanning the journal's pages. "This is incredible, Em," he whispered. "It seems that Mr. Ravenwood dedicated his life to uncovering this lost city." Emma nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "And it seems that our enigmatic stranger is after the same thing. He must have discovered this hidden room too." Just as they were engrossed in their findings, a noise from outside the room caught their attention. They exchanged worried glances before cautiously making their way towards the door. Peering through the crack, they saw the enigmatic stranger standing in the hallway, his back turned to them. He seemed to be studying a map, tracing his finger along its intricate lines. Emma's heart pounded in her chest as she realized that they were closer than ever to uncovering the truth. She turned to Jack, determination shining in her eyes. "We have to follow him, Jack. We need to find out what he knows." Jack nodded, his face set with determination. "Let's do it, Em. We can't let him get away." With their hearts racing and adrenaline coursing through their veins, Emma and Jack silently slipped out of the hidden room and began tailing the enigmatic stranger. Emma and Jack trailed the enigmatic stranger through the winding hallways of Ravenwood Manor. They moved with utmost caution, careful not to alert him to their presence. The mansion seemed to come alive with creaks and whispers as they ventured deeper into its mysteries. The stranger led them through a series of secret passages and hidden doorways, each one more intricate than the last. It was clear that he knew Ravenwood Manor like the back of his hand. As they followed him, Emma couldn't help but wonder how he had become so intimately acquainted with the mansion's secrets. Was he a descendant of Mr. Edgar Ravenwood? Or had he stumbled upon this hidden world by chance? The stranger finally came to a halt in front of a large wooden door. He took a deep breath before pushing it open, revealing a dimly lit room filled with ancient artifacts and maps. Emma and Jack exchanged glances, their excitement growing as they realized they had reached their destination. They cautiously stepped into the room, careful not to make a sound. The stranger seemed completely engrossed in his surroundings, oblivious to their presence. He moved with purpose, examining each artifact and map with meticulous detail. Emma's eyes were drawn to a particular map on the wall. It depicted a vast jungle, with intricate symbols marking various locations. It was clear that this map held the key to the lost city they had been searching for. Before Emma could make her move, a loud crash echoed through the room. Startled, the stranger turned towards the noise, his eyes widening in surprise as he saw Emma and Jack standing there. Without hesitation, he made a dash towards the exit, his long coat billowing behind him. Emma and Jack exchanged determined glances before sprinting after him, their footsteps echoing through the mansion. The chase led them through dark hallways and hidden passages, their pursuit becoming a blur of adrenaline and determination. They navigated treacherous staircases and dodged obstacles, their eyes fixed on the fleeing figure ahead. Finally, they burst through the front doors of Ravenwood Manor, into the cold winter night. The stranger disappeared into the darkness, leaving Emma and Jack standing at the edge of the town. Emma and Jack stood at the edge of Willowbrook, catching their breath after the exhilarating chase. The enigmatic stranger had vanished into the night, leaving them with more questions than answers. As they gazed up at Ravenwood Manor, its imposing figure seemed to mock them. They couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something more to discover within its walls. "We can't let him get away, Jack," said Emma firmly. "We need to find out who he is and what he's after." Jack nodded in agreement. "I'm with you, Em. But how do we even begin to track him down?" A sudden realization dawned on Emma's face. The journal. Mr. Ravenwood's journal might hold some clues about this stranger's identity. Excitement surged through them as they hurried back into the mansion. They made their way to the hidden room, their steps filled with purpose. Emma retrieved Mr. Ravenwood's journal from the desk and began flipping through its pages once again. She scanned each entry, searching for any mention of the enigmatic stranger. Finally, she came across an entry that caught her attention. It spoke of a man named Victor Sinclair, a renowned archaeologist who had gone missing under mysterious circumstances. Emma's eyes widened as she read further. The journal hinted at a connection between Victor Sinclair and the lost city they had been searching for. It seemed that Sinclair had become obsessed with finding the city's location, even resorting to unscrupulous methods. Determined to uncover the truth, Emma and Jack set out to find more information about Victor Sinclair. They visited libraries, interviewed locals, and scoured the internet for any leads. It was a race against time to unravel the enigma surrounding Sinclair and his connection to the lost city. Their efforts paid off when they stumbled upon an old newspaper article detailing Sinclair's disappearance. It mentioned that he was last seen in Willowbrook, just before he vanished without a trace. Armed with this information, Emma and Jack delved deeper into Sinclair's past. They discovered that he had been a renowned archaeologist, known for his unorthodox methods and relentless pursuit of ancient treasures. The pieces of the puzzle were slowly falling into place. It seemed that Sinclair had discovered the location of the lost city and was determined to claim its treasures for himself. But why had he chosen Ravenwood Manor as his base of operations? And how did he know about the hidden room? Emma and Jack knew that they had to confront Sinclair and put an end to his dangerous quest. Armed with determination and the knowledge they had gathered, they set out on their final mission. Emma and Jack followed the leads they had gathered, eventually tracking down Victor Sinclair to a remote jungle in South America. They had traveled halfway across the world, driven by their desire to uncover the truth and put an end to Sinclair's dangerous obsession. As they ventured deeper into the dense jungle, the air grew thick with humidity. The sounds of exotic birds and rustling leaves filled their ears, creating an atmosphere of anticipation and mystery. Finally, they reached a clearing where a makeshift camp had been set up. Tents and equipment were scattered around, indicating that Sinclair had been here recently. Emma and Jack surveyed the surroundings, their eyes drawn to a large stone structure in the distance. It was the entrance to the lost city they had been searching for, a magnificent sight that took their breath away. They cautiously approached the entrance, their hearts pounding with excitement. As they stepped through the ancient archway, they were greeted by a sprawling city hidden within the depths of the jungle. The city was a marvel of ancient architecture, with towering temples and intricate carvings adorning every surface. It was clear that this place held untold secrets and treasures waiting to be discovered. Emma and Jack moved through the city, their eyes wide with wonder. They marveled at the intricate stonework and explored hidden chambers, each step bringing them closer to the truth. As they ventured further into the heart of the city, they stumbled upon a chamber filled with ancient artifacts. Among them was a golden idol, the prized possession that Sinclair had been searching for all along. Just as they were about to examine the idol, a voice echoed through the chamber. "I see you finally caught up with me." Startled, Emma and Jack turned towards the sound, their eyes widening in surprise as they saw Victor Sinclair standing before them. Sinclair wore a triumphant smile on his face, his eyes gleaming with greed. "You've done well to track me down, but this is where your journey ends," he sneered. Emma stepped forward, her voice filled with determination. "We won't let you take the treasures of this city, Sinclair. It belongs to the world, not to be hoarded by one man." Sinclair laughed, a cold and hollow sound that echoed through the chamber. "You're naive, my dear. The power and wealth this city holds are meant to be mine. I've sacrificed everything to find it, and I won't let anyone stand in my way." Emma and Jack exchanged determined glances before launching into action. A fierce battle ensued as they fought to protect the city and its treasures from Sinclair's grasp. Their struggle was filled with adrenaline and desperation, each move calculated and precise. The chamber echoed with the clash of metal against metal, as Emma and Jack fought valiantly against Sinclair's relentless pursuit. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Sinclair stumbled backward, defeated and exhausted. He realized that his quest for power had led him down a path of destruction and greed. As Sinclair lay defeated, Emma and Jack looked around at the ancient city that had become their battleground. They realized that the true treasure lay not in the gold and artifacts but in the knowledge and history it held. With a sense of accomplishment, Emma and Jack made their way back through the jungle, leaving the lost city behind. They knew that they had played a part in preserving its secrets and ensuring that it would be cherished for generations to come. As they returned to Willowbrook, they couldn't help but reflect on their incredible journey. They had uncovered the mysteries of Ravenwood Manor, confronted an enigmatic stranger, and ultimately put an end to Sinclair's dangerous obsession. Their adventure had changed them, shaping them into individuals who understood the importance of preserving history and respecting the wonders of the world. And as they looked towards the future, they knew that their thirst for adventure and discovery would continue to guide them on new and exciting paths.